Everyone thinks that glass bottles are the eco-friendliest packaging, but did you know that there are better options? In this video, I'm going to compare plastic bottles, glass bottles and aluminum cans by giving them scores for each category. That way we can see which option is the eco-friendliest. In order to compare these three options, we will consider manufacturing emissions, transport emissions and emissions when recycling. Firstly, let's talk about production. A plastic bottle is made from crude oil and natural gas, which are both extracted from the ground. They are then sent to refinery, where they get processed into propane and methane. Furthermore, they are processed and turned into smaller pieces called monomers that are joined together into longer chains known as polymers. These chains are then molded and shaped into different things. The problem is that these chains are strong and difficult to break down. As a result, plastic needs about 500 years to biodegrade. However, this is not the only problem. Pumping crude oil and natural gas from the ground harms the local environment, and production releases quite a lot of CO2 in the air. Contrary to plastic, glass bottles are made from liquefied sand, soda ash, limestone and other additives. In factory, they are molded together at very high temperature. After molding, they can be shaped into a bottle. Limestone is usually mined, causing water pollution and less natural habitats. Unfortunately, mining is noisy, which can disturb wildlife. It also releases some greenhouse gases in the air, however, the amount is not concerning. The third option are aluminum cans. They are almost always made from bauxite. Bauxite is mined, which already causes a lot of problems mentioned earlier. To get 1 ton of aluminum, we need 5 tons of bauxite. Then aluminum is extracted from the bauxite with very complicated and very energy intensive process. Therefore, emissions rates of aluminum cans production are a lot higher compared to previous two candidates. Now, let's give each one a score. For production, plastic deserves 2 points, glass bottle 3 points and aluminum cans get 1 point. Secondly, we must discuss transportation. The emissions from transporting plastic bottles can exceed those from creating them. The emissions may depend on the length of the trip though. You see, shorter trips release a lot less CO2 relative to longer trips. We need to consider that plastic bottles are designed to be transported in larger quantities, so used fuel per bottle is lower. However, glass has a big disadvantage in this section because of their weight. Glass bottles are about 12 times heavier than aluminum or plastic, which means that a lot more fuel is burned during transport. Additionally, glass bottles are fragile and cannot be transported in such large quantities. Last but not least, we must mention the cans. They are lightweight and small, so they can be transported in large numbers, reducing the amount of needed fuel and making them a champion of this category as well. So, in this category, plastic deserves 3 points, glass bottle 1 point and aluminum cans 5 points. Lastly, we need to ask ourselves where will they land up. We all know that each container is recyclable, right? But how do they compare? We are very bad at recycling plastic. You see, only 8% of plastic was recycled in US in 2017. The rest is sent to landfill or thrown into the ocean. There it pollutes our planet for half of millennium. Unlike plastic, glass is 100% recyclable. Despite that, only around 30 to 40% of glass is recycled globally. You see, this number still makes 4 to 5 times higher than plastics. Overall, greenhouse emissions are reduced with recycling, which is great and convenient. Glass is not alone. Aluminum cans can be 100% recycled as well. Sadly, only 45% of aluminum cans are recycled. That seems like a big waste of potential because overall carbon emissions are reduced by 96%. Keep in mind that both glass and aluminum can be recycled indefinitely without any loss in quality. In our last category, plastic deserves 1 point, glass bottle 3 points and aluminum cans 3 points as well. So, the winner of the contest is 100% recycled can. In the second place we have a glass bottle, which would be a winner if it wasn't for the transportation. The only benefit to plastic bottles is transportation, so they come in the last place. So, there you have it, those are the results. But we must keep in mind that this leaderboard is only valid when recycled cans are being considered. Otherwise, aluminum is not as eco-friendly as presented and glass bottles are a better choice. So, it's important that we recycle it properly. If you want to help, you can do it by simply sorting it yourself. You may also think that plastic isn't that bad after all, and it really isn't. The reason it's so commonly used is because of their lightness and cheap production, but the created pollution is concerning. That's why you should avoid it. Watch the left video on eco-friendly travel, and to learn about plastic, check out the right video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember that even small actions can have a big impact.